One second. All right. There. There. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. And awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. What a day today. So, Fed day today. Fed day today, so it made it a little bit interesting. So lots going on, right? We had job numbers today, so worse job numbers than expected. Election still not determined yet, and Fed day today. So quite an interesting one there today, and we'll be taking a look at that in a minute. Today we're going to be continuing and wrapping up our conversation on day trading around big events with waiting. So this will be a good topic right here. Before we get started, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look and see where we left off the market here today. And then we're going to take a look at the futures and see what we got going on this evening and possibly into tomorrow. And then we're going to take a look at the topic, and then we'll go through questions and chart requests. All right, so let's get started. SPX. Double inside month so far. Okay, so we've turned green on the month, right? So that's good news as it is, right? So and the cool part on the weekly chart is that we actually got above, we squeezed above this resistance level here, pretty strong here this week. So we got one more day left in the week. So let's see what they have in store for that one. Daily chart, looking interesting. Right, so I mean, really quite an impressive move. We talked about after we broke down out of this potential bull flag corrective channel. Once we broke down, we gapped down below here, and we started to push our way down. We reevaluated the wave count on it. It looked like we had an A, B, C right move right here, and you can see that clearly finished up today, and we have a huge impulsive move up, which looks like a wave one. Now, what do I got here? I've got a wave two down here. Very interesting, right? So what is that? That's at about a 618 retrace from the lows to potentially the highs right here. We could keep going, but we're right at the 618 right here. So a wave two could pull back. Could be the 236, could be the 382. It's a good level. 618 will be a key level for us to hold to see if we get a really large move up, potentially to go past all-time highs. This is interesting, right? So this, maybe some of the news will catch up with things. Maybe, the Fed's comments on the economy being uncertain with increased corona cases, stuff like that. Maybe with the elections not being done yet, that's a little bit part of it. So maybe we see that move down, and then maybe the elections get resolved, and then we start to work our way back up. I don't know, just a little bit of a theory out there. We'll see how it goes. Let's take a look at the intraday price action. So 15-minute chart. So generally it was pretty choppy today. It was a Fed day. We usually see some chop before the Fed. What we did like this morning is that we cleared the yesterday's highs. So we actually gapped up on the futures over the prior highs. The SPX ended up opening up right in that range, so it didn't really have a gap to fill. But that kind of gives you some clues right there. So it opened up that range and worked its way up, right? So we had a good push up here, a little bit of upper shadow right here, and then we had a really nice push here above these levels to almost double that range, right? We got a couple upper shadows right here, worked our way down, held the 15 orb high with an inside 15, back over the 80 MA to retest the highs, and then back down again. Let's take a look at the levels that we provide to our members here before each market opens. So you can see really nice areas right here, the R2, double R2 levels right here. So that served as a great target, right? A little bit of resistance, back down. Like we said, held the 15 orb high, worked its way back up to retest those levels and back down to the 15 orb today. So some pretty good stuff. Let's take a look at the S&P futures and see what else we saw today. So with the S&P futures, what we do is we put our supply and demand zones on here. These make great levels for trading against. And one of the things that we pointed out pre-market, anybody who follows us on the public Twitter at least, and certainly in the group, one of the things that we looked at is the rising channel this morning, right? So here was the overnight gap, right? So you can see it was a little bit different than the SPX, right? So here is yesterday's high, right? So Wednesday's high right here, and we gapped above that right here this morning, right? And so our whole thing is, okay, if we break down below this channel with any sort of strength, the bears should try to get to that gap fill. And we didn't get that this morning. We ended up holding the channel and working our way up. So that got us in full bull mode this morning. Now, does it make sense to be bullish? Maybe not logically, right? I mean, bad job numbers, election not finished yet, increased corona cases, so no. But does it matter with price? No, it doesn't. Price is going to do what it's going to do, right? And so you can see we squeezed out the bears this morning, and that gave us a nice move to the upside. Again, we pointed out an entry here once we confirmed, right? Because we did pull back off the signal zone initially, it gave us a nice pullback right here. But once we held that 15 warp high and we got through this signal zone, our next target was the next signal zone up. It ended up giving us a little bit of follow through. It also got pretty close to the top of the channel as a great place to take profit. Then we have these double upper shadows right here to get down to the signal zone again. Back up to the signal zone, back down, chop. Once we broke down below this signal zone, the 15 orb below really served as support today and then worked its way back up. So pretty good stuff there. So that ended up being pretty nice. So now what's going on here? So we had Fed day today, right? So Powell talked, and then about 2:30 time frame, and we got a little irritable Powell syndrome right here. We actually caught a short on this today as well. We got a nice 382 retrace attack the signal zone to work its way down. It looked like it was going to try again to get to the 15 orb below. We caught a nice trade off of it, so it was basically from here to here. Again, not as nice as that one, but still a couple good trades today. And then they held the 15 orb high and kind of worked their way up to the close. And now after hours, we got a little bit of a gap down. It looks like we're down about 12 points right now. So this is kind of interesting, right? So we'll see how this holds going in through the rest of the night. One thing we can do is just to take a look at it here. Is just go from here to here, right? It's a possibility, right? So this looks pretty interesting right here from the gap down. So we got this going on. It's trying to reclaim a little bit of the range, and then we got this going on here too. So let's see how it holds. We may continue to work our way down into this evening. Again, this gap still hasn't been filled yet. It doesn't count after hours. It only counts in the real-time trading. But we'll see if that area gets tested, and we go from there. Of course, we break down above this channel area, right? We might continue to work our way up, and then the market continues to be irrational, at least for the bears, right? So that's what we got going on there. So we'll see where that takes us the rest of the evening and into tomorrow, and we'll have a fresh game plan out tomorrow morning. So for the group, so good stuff there. All right, so let's move over to the topic right here. So today we're going to be wrapping up our conversation on day trading around big events, and today we're going to be talking about waiting. Okay, so wow, that's interesting. So waiting. I thought this was all about trading. Right? Don't we just talk about trading here? So good stuff. Yes, we do talk about trading, but sometimes the best trade is not to trade at all. Right? Sometimes waiting for a move to finish and then looking for direction is can be a very prudent way to go, right? So let's kind of talk about this a little bit. So a really good example is Amazon, right? So this is one of the ones that we've been using as an example this week with straddles, strangles, things like that, and we can kind of look at it and wait, right? We can just kind of see what's going on here. So we had earnings, right? So I was actually pretty bullish on most of the names, right? That were all the B5 that was reporting on this Friday here on the into the 29th, and right, so into the 29th on this one. So that was kind of a big deal, right? So we had I'm sorry, it was the 30th where everything ended up reporting or playing out. So what were they after hours, right? So all the playing out was on the 30th on that Friday. So I figured Amazon would beat. Apple was a good contender to beat. Facebook, it was kind of leaning bullish on it too, and Google, right? So all these names beat on earnings quite handily, right? But what happened? The market didn't go up, right? So that's where kind of trading into these big events can be risky, right? And as we know, if you get a bunch of calls on that, you end up gapping down and pushing down, right? They're completely crushed. So one of the things we can do is wait. So there's a couple things that we do right, on these opportunities right here. So one of the things we look at is trading the day of, and so let's take a look at that real quick. And obviously, one of our favorite techniques is the 15 orb, right? So if we go back to if we go back on the 30th, that was going back a little bit farther than I thought. So if we go back on the 30th, right after earnings, where's earnings? Hello, Amazon. We don't have the earnings on here. There we go. So here we go on this right here. So let me pull up the 15 orb here. Let me get this going for every day. Should we only know so you can see it from that day. Okay, so you can see exactly what happened here on the day of the earnings. So one of the things we like is our 15 orb trades, right? So it just gives us a key line in the sand. Again, once we lost the pre-market levels, right, that's an area of entry here to short this thing to get it going down. But once we couldn't hold the 15 orb low that morning, we're still below the 80 MA. This gave a great opportunity to get short on Amazon. So even if we didn't have puts, there's usually plenty of opportunities the next day. So here, inside 15, right? And then a retest of the 15 or below, and then continue to move down. Nice retracement right here. So, I mean, you kind of, from the 15 or below, 30.88, this thing went down to 30.18 for a 70-point move, right? You don't have to catch the earnings move. A lot of times these things, especially with increased volatility, can give us good trades, right? So that's one of the ways to look at it on the intraday time frame. But another one is also on the daily time frame. We like to wait for confirmation and for movement, right? That's where we have our levels and our geometric zones and our trend boxes and trend lines, right? So when we got down this day and we pushed, right, they gave us a bearish candle right here, and the next day even gave us some follow through there to the downside. But then we were expecting, with good earnings, we would think that we'd get a reversal off, and what do we get? We got an inside day and a big gap up yesterday, so that gave us a nice move, right? And it ended up closing above the 50-day and the cloud, and then we got some follow through today on it. So we don't have to be involved directly in the big event. A lot of times the aftermath of it, or even just the after effects of it, give us a lot of good opportunities. So Amazon's a great example there, and of course all the other names that reported that night too gave us very, very similar moves here to the upside, right? So Apple gave a move down, gave us a reversal doji, ended up gapping up and being strong, closed with the hammer yesterday, got some follow through today on Apple, right? Facebook, same thing, right? Facebook had good earnings, but it ended up pushing its way down inside day, gapped above the inside day, gap and go back in the channel. Look what it did today. It got all the way to the top of the channel, right? So a couple nice moves there, and then of course Google, right? I mean, so Google was the only one that really kind of hung in there after earnings, but it did give a big drop, and then it gave us an inside day, held the ADMA, gapped up, and now it's tagged fresh all-time highs today on Google, which is pretty amazing, right? So yesterday and today. So sometimes waiting is the way to go, right? So we wait till after the big event, and then we let price kind of materialize and give us clues into what it's doing, so we can make a move. So good stuff. Well, hopefully you guys found that helpful. And at this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to play those in the chat window. And we'll get through as many as we can and try to wrap up as early as possible so we can all get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. And let's go to it. So let's see. So I think I've got everything up here. It looks like we've got a few chart requests right here. I just want to make sure I'm not doing the same thing I did yesterday and miss the chat. Let me double check this here, guys. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, so Suyag, it looks like you're chat. Umesh, good. Okay, you're here. All right, awesome stuff. All right, so good. So just making sure that that we've got some company here tonight. So good stuff. All right, so good. So Shirley sending a few in via email. So let's take a look at those. And again, everybody, thanks for keeping Shirley in your thoughts and prayers. She gets better all the time. So John Deere. Now this is one we haven't looked at in a while, right? This thing has had really an epic run. Right, here's its Corona crash, but look how much it moved since then. It wasn't just recovering the range. I mean, this thing has just been plowing its way up, no pun intended, plowing its way up here, and just a big bounce off the 50-day moving average recently, inside day up, and continue to work its way up here with increased volume. So very, very nice move on John Deere. So great find on that. Let's see if that continue to get some follow through to the upside on that. What else? Let's take a look at PayPal. Okay, yeah, so PayPal, again, earnings, this is a great example, right? So PayPal had earnings, it had a beat on earnings, it ended up working its way down, right? Gave us a green candle right here after the gap down, held a Fibonacci fan line, worked its way back up with a strong move, and gapped above the 50-day moving average. It got some nice continuation on that one, right? So we'll see if we can work its way back up, maybe get over that Fib fan line there. So another nice find of that one with some relative strength. CRM. Bullish radar, guys. We pointed this out last night. We said how much we really like this. It really looks like it finished an ABC wave 4, and it's working on a wave 5 up. So again, very, very impulsive move right here. We'll look for retraces on this one to continue to work its way up and possibly get an earnings run on CRM. I really like keeping CRM on the radar here. FFIV. Nice inside day up on this one. Very, very nice. So that's a big move up since earnings. And again, nice strong candle today. Good volume. Let's see if I continue to hold there for you. So I like how I got over the cloud as well. Nice find there. And then NVAX. You got to look at one of the vaccine companies for sure. Right, this thing's been wild, right? This thing was a huge mover since the Corona crash, right? This is like one of the big names, right? Big bull flag right here, move up. I mean, like 1, 2, 3, 4, triangle, 5, ABC down, right? Now it's kind of working on a little bit of a choppy sideways pattern, right? But we'll look for it and see if it can get an impulsive move up. It's got earnings coming up here, so let's see how they do. So good stuff there. Great. So yeah, what's going on? You see some bullish harmonics on the ES. Nice. What time frame, right? We always like to ask that. So ES could be interesting right here. So this is looking pretty good. So you can see here, right? We've got the this move here. Just to see if I'm seeing what you're seeing here correctly. You got this, right? Higher low, which usually starts a harmonic move, and now right? We've got our different extensions that we could look at. So again, this harmonic could be working its way up nicely here. We can see if what type of animal it turns into, right? But very possibly, some type of butterfly or crab formation, and we'll see if we can do that. So so again, let's put some extensions on here. So from the lows to the highs to the low to here, right? So the 100% extensions right here, your 1.38 and 1.27s up here, and then of course you got your 1.68 up to 37.77. Lucky sevens on that one. So let's see if the ES and the futures and the SPX can work their way up there. Great find on that one, Suyog. Nice job. Umesh, what's going on? Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for tuning in. Neo, guys, we talked about this last night. Possible doji sandwich, and it sure was. This thing is just ridiculously strong. Who knows how high this thing could potentially, the way it's been going, could potentially work its way up to 100 before earnings. Then we'll see what happens after earnings. But it just keeps getting stronger and stronger every day. I mean, just so much money loading into it. Even retail traders trading it. I mean, just generally, continues to be stronger here. I'm going back through all the bull flags back here. Yeah, and it was strong again today. I mean, just it consolidated for a little bit and then just blast off, right? And a little bit higher into the close, too. So nice find on that one. Let's see if we can get some follow through on this one again. Doji sandwich, I'd like to wait for a retrace, but this thing sometimes doesn't give the retraces. Maybe it'll consolidate for those, give us another bull flag. But we'll see where that goes. XPEV, let's take a look. Yeah, another, again, these electric vehicle companies just going crazy, right? So big move yesterday, right? This is not a horrible day to look to go long from yesterday, right? So you had huge volume that came in with a big candle, and you got that nice follow through today. So great fun on that if anybody got to play with that one. Good job. Tesla again, the big name right here is the big boy of electric vehicle makers. At least these ones actually make them and people drive them, right? So so we got that going on. But again, we're still kind of contained within the triangle right here. Over the 58, we might get a crossover here, and let's see if we can close bullishly above this geometric line, above the top of the triangle, to see if it's ready to make another one of its big Tesla moves. Calyx, decent candle here today, good volume, right? So we've got let's go ahead and get the trend line up here. So we broke out over this geometric level right here, right, off of an inside day. So let's see if we can get some follow through on that one. Great find on that one too. And Baba. So Baba, again, earnings today, right, or yesterday, what was it? It was today, right? Yeah, so earnings today. So again, basically a little bit pushing on a nice dip buy here off the cloud. It could not get over the 50-day moving average today, so it's a little bit sketchy on it. But again, it did a couple moves right here. I believe it filled the gap right here today. Was that a high? 279.30 low. So it hasn't filled this gap below or this gap below yet. So let's see how it holds right here. It's kind of hanging onto the cloud. This is a tough area for it here. It had I think they had a little bit worse than expected earnings, and of course their Ant IPO is delayed for at least 6 months. So we got that going on too. Yasi, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you're doing well. Yeah, so Zoom, we talked about this last night. We kept it on the bullish radar. Inside day up at the 50-day moving average. Got some nice follow through here today. Again, kind of looking a little bit like a hanging man right here, but I do like how it closed with the majority of with the candle here above the 8-day moving average. So again, it looks like it's working on a fresh impulsive move up. So let's see what kind of follow through we get, or we'll look for potential viable retraces on it. So good stuff there. And then Square, yeah, Umesh, yeah. So a bunch of earnings here tonight. So Square, let's see where it's at. Yeah, so Square is kind of hanging out here. It's like at the 182 area. It's okay. It's got a lot of pre-market levels or after-hours levels to deal with. It's at 182, so not expecting any sort of gap and go on this one, so don't be surprised if it does reverse after the open. Roku, again, nice candle today. Again, great breakout. We talked about this geometric line right here. We broke out of there with volume, and of course, earnings came out, and they smashed earnings, and then they smashed it back down just because, I mean, you saw what happened with Amazon, Apple, and Facebook after earnings, right? So even Google with the big reversal. So again, it's nice to see that they beat on earnings, that they had good revenue, better than expected. So at this point here, we just got to keep it on the radar, and I think this is a great one to look to see how it behaves tomorrow. But I'm going to be really happy to see the IV get crushed and the premiums to be a little bit more affordable on Roku. So good stuff there. Umesh, yeah, my pleasure. What's going on in the Bitcoin world? Bitcoin looking pretty good, right? So let's see. Let's go to the Bitcoin futures here. Whoa, look at Bitcoin. Wow, so we've been tracking we track the cryptos in our group. I don't trade the cryptos, but some of our folks do. Again, a big move here. This thing has been channeling up, right? So this has been the big channel recently, right? So, it's kind of bouncing off the highs, bouncing off the lows. We got a nice move here. I love how the ADMA crossed over the 50. We got a strong here. It's just been riding the ADMA up, and look at this. Boom, all the way to the top of the channel, and it closed above it. That's a very, very bullish sign. And again, this is sort of like a A hodl type move right here. Just amazing stuff on Bitcoin. So amazing to see it all the way up here. So it's got some room to go get back to all-time highs, but again, just amazing moves right there, and great follow through here into today. So good stuff there. Awesome. Chester, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Umesh, UVXY. Yep. So the short VIX right here again, pretty interesting, right? Pretty interesting moves. With the recent move up, right, this thing's been getting just kind of crushed right here. So we'll see how it goes. Again, if the futures can stay down tonight and things start to really pull back in that wave too, we might see a little bit of a pop on this one. So it could be interesting there. Hepcat, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. EXPI, let's take a look. Yeah, so we looked at this one yesterday. Nice move right here. So we kind of have this impulsive move down, right? ABC, a little bit of caution on this one. We got earnings coming up on it. To me, this looks like a zigzag correction, right? So what that would imply is you have this move right here. Here's your A move, right? For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. ABC up, and then we might see a symmetrical move down. Right, I'm not saying trade into earnings with that. I mean, this thing could beat on earnings and anything could happen, right? But we'll just watch out for that. If it does miss on earnings and kind of gaps down with that one, watch for a potential retrace on that one. It does look a little bit bearish on that one because of the impulsive move down on the corrective move. So we got that going on there too. So good, Suyak, what's going on? Yeah, let's take a look at PayPal again. PayPal again, nice move right there today. Decent candle here, nice gap up on that one, still pushing its way up. I mean, PayPal, as you know, is a challenging one to trade, but we'll see if we get some follow through on that one. What else? And then Space, thanks for mentioning this one. I forgot to cover that one in the video tonight. Yeah, earnings tonight, right? So again, of course they lost money because they don't do anything, right? But they lost more than expected. And of course it's up. So that makes sense. So we got this going on here. Let's see where we're at. So we're gapping up here right now. Again, it's coming into some selling pressure, so wouldn't be surprised to see a reversal on it. But again, the way Willy Wonka's stock market goes, I wouldn't be surprised to see it go up. So we've got that going on too. Chester, yeah, let's say the keys. Let's see how that's doing here. Keys, yeah, strong candle on that one today. Watch the volume on it, right? But a nice move right there. So again, cleared a couple major levels right here recently, and pretty decent candle on that one. So see how that goes. See if we can push over those highs. APTV, let's take a look. Yeah, Aptiv, another nice one there too. Watch the volume on that one, but a good strong close on that. DKNG. Again, we talked about this last night, guys. Remember the Doji sandwich? So boom, up, Doji sandwich, up. Just a great move on that one here. See what goes. We got earnings coming up on it. Again, it hit our target on the short side. So let's see how it holds in here. It could be working on kind of like this shoulder head, and it might be working on another shoulder type move right there. See how it goes into earnings. It's kind of a big deal on that one. SRCL. Woo! Look at that move on this one. Yeah, big push on that. See if it can break above today's highs to get another move going into tomorrow. Love it. Umesh, yeah, PLTR. Let's take a look. Yep, so Planetary Tech, nice move right here. We talked about pushing above these IPO highs, and we got that momentum move here today. So nice move off of the inside day up. Very nice find on that one. GDRX. The good RX, I know you're liking this one too. So good move right there. Yeah, this thing's just really just kind of choppy, sloppy here as it heads into earnings. AMWL, let's take a look. AMWL, again, American Well earnings coming up pretty soon. It's hanging on to the 618 again. So again, it was off of the 786. So again, see if we can follow some nasty moves on this one. Froggy, nasty. Okay, we talked about this too. This is I think maybe it was a DM that I had, but possible bear flag right here. Right, and then nice gap down off of the bear flag right there. So kind of right here, kind of holding on to those IPOs lows. It's got to hold that, right? So it's kind of it's got to go from there, right? Another IPO name. There it goes, right? So good push yesterday over the geometric level and a nice push up. See if it gives you a doji sandwich move on that one. Snow. Still kind of consolidating right here. Again, it's kind of range bound right here below the 382 and the 618. So see if we can find some direction after that with some volume. And then BEKE. Beaky. K Holdings. All right, another IPO name right here. Good, yeah. So that's been working its way up. And then a quick tag of 77 for reversing, but holding the 8-day on that. So definitely keep an eye on that too. Hepcat, yeah, Piton. So Piton beats on earnings and beats on revenue. And it's down after hours. Is what it is. Let's see how it holds. Again, this could be a good candidate for reversal back up. Again, Piton's just been so strong recently. So again, a little bit of an ABC type pullback right here. Looks like it's starting to move up. Maybe it'll give us a wave 2, pull back off of the earnings, and then work its way back up to the highs. Rochelle, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're well. Let's take a look at QCOM. Again, big gap up here today. Turned into a red candle, so a little bit of caution off of this one, right? So if the market does get weak tomorrow and things are starting to pull back, watch for a pullback below today's lows. Again, this looks like the breakaway gap. This looks like possibly an exhaustive gap, right? So it might be kind of calming down up here. It didn't really get much movement here. It didn't do a gap and go type move. It did hold the lows pretty well, but ended up just kind of chopping around being a doji. So just kind of keep an eye on that one tomorrow if the market's weak tomorrow. So people will soon be in panic near all-time highs and drop Bitcoin over. There you go. Chester, yeah, my pleasure. James, what's going on? PLTR had an awesome day, and I'm assuming fades tomorrow. Yeah, maybe it was a big move there, but great job if you were able to get in on that one here today. Great move over this level and the IPO highs. And again, huge move today, mostly at the open, right? Got a little triangle here for a little bit of a bounce at the end of the day. Now we'll see how it goes. Again, it could get some people interested. We got some good volume right there. Maybe they'll go for an earnings run, see if we can get over today's highs. So good stuff there. Great. Awesome, guys. Great chart requests tonight. Really some good ones here tonight. And tomorrow's going to be an interesting day. We had a bunch of earnings tonight. So tomorrow should be interesting. Let's see what the futures have in store tonight and what they set up for us tomorrow. And then we'll have a fresh game plan in the morning. And, of course, we'll get all the levels out in the morning, too. If you're new here, I really appreciate it. Please subscribe on YouTube. Be sure to hit the notification button so you can see when we put our other videos out. And if you guys aren't in our group yet, definitely look at joining our group. You get our newsletter on the weekend. There'll be a fresh one there. And of course, we've got our Discord and the private Twitter as well, where we've got lots of cool channels. We got news, we got options flow, and we have great discussions in there as well throughout the day. Of course, we go live at the open and close. And today we went live during the Fed press conference, so it's always fun to do that. So be sure to check that out. Links in the description. But once again, guys, even if you're new here or not, please hit the like button. It goes a long way. I always appreciate it. And even if you're watching the recording, please hit the like button. It means a lot. So anyway, guys, I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. We'll see everybody bright and early on YouTube and on Twitter for the Good Morning Market Prep video. And until then, stay healthy out there and remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you guys soon.